Now, I made no bones about it. I do not like the new Kurtzman era stuff. I do not like Discovery. I do not like Lower Decks. I haven't seen Prodigy, and first season of Picard I thought was god awful. So it's very surprising that I'm actually saying I enjoyed this episode of season two of Picard, episode one, the Stargazer. This is the first time I've actually seen a Star Trek episode that they have made currently that actually felt like a Star Trek episode. Actually felt like it was intellectual. Actually felt like the writers actually remembered who these characters were and what fans are at least expecting somewhat. So, a little bit on the background here. It has been a year and a half since season one ended. The Federation has dropped the ban on synthetics, which is a good thing. Agnes and whatever that android's name from the first one, I don't remember. They're on the same planet. They're still there. Agnes gets cleared of all charges for killing Maddox because they're blaming it on the Vetshaws, uh, mind control, temporary insanity, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Anyway, she got a pass. I don't know if I agree with that, but whatever. Seven is back to doing her ranger stuff. There's a little pew pew action in this with her, but at least with this one, the context was there. She wasn't on a murdering spree or anything, so there was that. It actually was a decent action scene. I don't like the fact that everything is still dark a lot. I just don't get that, even on the ships, but whatever. That I guess is just something they're going to keep, and they have been for a while. Picard has returned to Starfleet. Actually, so has Raffi, and so has Rios. So, while Seven has Rios' old ship, Rios is now back in Starfleet. He's a captain. He's actually the captain of the newly completed Stargazer, which is reverse engineered with Borg technology from season one from the Cube. And I've got to say, the Stargazer looked nice. It has a different registry number than the original Stargazer, and we do actually see a little picture of the original Stargazer with the correct number on it, which has always kind of led to why does the Enterprise always get a letter, but most other ships just get a different designation? I wonder if that's just because the Enterprise is considered the flagship. I'm not sure. But they've all turned. Raffi is now commander. She's been promoted. She came back. She probably came back as a lieutenant commander, is promoted to full commander, and is now, looks like, first officer on the Excelsior. And yes, the way they made it sound, that Excelsior, the NCC 2000, my personal favorite ship. Which just goes to show those sons of bitches can really hold up and can keep going even after 100 years. The Romulan sword fighter, and I can't think of his name. I know it was there, but I'm blanking on it. He's the first full Romulan to go to Starfleet Academy. So there is that. That's kind of a nice playoff. You had Spock being the first, mainly Vulcan, half Vulcan, or being the first Klingon, Nog being the first Ferengi, so him being the first Romulan. That was a decent to know. This episode more focused on, was Picard running to something or running away from something? One of the personal things in here is Picard dealing with family and his relationships with women, his time being in love. And there's a really nice talk between him and Guinan about that, which was a question some people had. There is actually an explanation on why Guinan looks older now. It may not be the best explanation, but at least it was a decent one. And it really kind of went to more the emotional, the human side of what Picard is going through. Picard is almost 100 years old. His whole life has been pretty much Starfleet. He's had relationships, but it's never been, something he's ever put forth. He even says that takes a back seat to duty. Always has. So he talks about second chances to the cadets when he does ceremony with them. He's treated properly in this season, unlike the prior seasons. Rios, Rafi doesn't call him JL, thank God. Rios, he plays around with a cigar a lot, and he's even handed a lighter at one point, but he never actually lights up the cigar. It kind of reminds me of my time in the military. I knew a lot of old guys who could sit, especially senior leadership, they'd be sitting in their spot, and they'd just be chewing on a cigar that they haven't even lit up. So Picard is specifically asked to go check out this anomaly that has popped up. And folks, this is not really a spoiler. You know the Borg are coming, so you can put 2 and 2 together and figure that out. I thought the chemistry between Picard got it. Jean-Luc Stewart actually acted like he remembered who Picard was now. And it's like the writers actually remembered he needed to be given respect as a character of his legacy. The rest of the Federation is treating him fine. It feels more like the Federation. It feels like more of Starfleet. We actually get a decent number of different style ships. We don't just see the same one that was pasted in. Overall, very good, very beginning of the story. Yes, John D. Lance does show up in this. I'm not going to give much of that. I'm not going to give any of that away. I'm just going to say, yeah, it's like he slipped right back into Q like he never forgot. So I'm surprised. This was actually the first episode since the Kurtzman era started in any Star Trek that I really enjoyed. It felt Star Trek. It felt intellectual. And I enjoyed that. All right. Y'all take care.